morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're tuning into this channel across the world. Welcome to Verdict TV, and thank you for tuning into this channel. The news headline: Wole Soyinka, why I crossed to Biafra to meet Ojukwu. Once again, you're welcome to today's news, and thank you for tuning into this channel. Kindly listen to the end, the news details. The life and times of Professor Wole Soyinka, especially in a piece that attempts to chronicle his acts of bravery, will be incomplete without the familiar story of how he broke into the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation studio in Ibadan during the Western region's political crisis in 1965. Soyinka tersely dismisses the question on that with this: I had matured into a period of a people on the rise, on the move, people of dignity, who refuse that their voices should be stolen, arrogantly and contemptuously. There have been quite a few moments of my existence among people like that. I was one of them. My voice was being stolen. I could not sit down and accept that somebody should steal my voice. I felt at one with the majority of the people. Wole Soyinka's involvement in the Nigeria-Biafra civil war, for which he was sent to prison, is an even bigger event in his life, without which his life history will be incomplete. Hear him. We were more or less a family of artists at Independence. There was a creative family, and that family was being scattered. I was in Stockholm in 1967 for the Scandinavian African Writers Conference, and one of the saddest moments for me was that so many faces were missing from Nigeria. Expected but not there: Christopher Okigbo, Chinua Achebe, Gabriel Okara. The Biafrans were missing even in safe Stockholm. The drums of war were no longer muted. It was the last chance for us to meet and talk about what was now inevitable, but could still just maybe be averted at the last moment. I returned to Nigeria very sad, and I was feeling as if I lost a limb. Several limbs, in fact. It was like, was this going to be it? We would become enemies confronting each other across the lines of fire. There were people who were ready to take up arms, like Christopher Okigbo. At the time, I had already run into Christopher Okigbo. It took place in Brussels. I even recall the name of the hotel, Hotel Koenigsberg, purely by accident, and I knew he had come to purchase arms for Biafra. I challenged him, and he admitted it. All these fortuitous encounters impressed on me a sense of urgency. Later, I had a meeting earlier in London. I mentioned that in my Ibadan, where we talked about the possibility of going to Biafra on the last-minute mission of intervention. Again, as I disclosed in my memos, Aminu Abdullahi, who is now dead, actually volunteered to go. This was at the meeting in London. We hooked up around a place called the Transcription Center. We didn't even know which way some of us would go. Would JP consider himself an Easterner or Westerner? It was the breakup of a robust circle of creativity. We decided that Aminu should not go because he looked so clearly a Northerner. We said, look, you won't even get past the first roadblock. Because at that time, there was such bitterness, murderous paranoia, and it was understandable on account of the program which had taken place earlier. I went to the conference, but my colleagues were not present. And when I returned to Nigeria, the first skirmishes had taken place on the northern border. And I realized that soon it would be impossible to travel to Biafra. I was restless. I knew I couldn't function until I had crossed the lines in search of them. I said, when I get there, I will find Christopher Okigbo somewhere and then go to Ojukwu. That was the reason why I went, a chance at the last moment that something could be done. Some people continue to narrate that I went across to persuade Ojukwu to renounce the secession. No, I did not go to persuade Ojukwu to renounce anything. It was far more complicated. Professor Wole Soyinka, during before the Biafra war, he said he tried all his possible best to make sure that the war did not happen. But he said that people actually thought he went to Ojukwu to tell Ojukwu not to secession from Nigeria. But he said, no, that's not what he actually went for. That he tried his possible best to make sure that war did not take place. And they could do things like, there are ways they could avert the war and make sure that even if they want to secession, it's not going to take lives or come in a form of war. So what have you considered this news? Kindly share your view in the comment section, and don't forget to like and share, and also click on the subscribe button to subscribe and the bell for more updates. We've come to the end of today's news. Thank you for listening to the end.